Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's segment of Nasdaq Advisory Live, powered by Nasdaq IR Insight. Joining me today remotely from our office in London is Alexandra Wendt, Senior Analyst with our Nasdaq Advisory Services team. Alex, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. Let's get started. Can you start by recapping what happened with the German election?
Sure. Last Wednesday, the German parliament, the Bundestag, finally re-elected Angela Merkel as chancellor for the fourth time. It took months of uncertainty to form a government following the general election last September, which ended in a hung parliament. This also meant that the controversial right-wing populist party AfD entered the parliament for the first time with a stake of 13%. Eventually, Merkel's party, the Christian Democrats, the Bavarian CSU, and the Social Democrats SPD, agreed to build a new coalition after Merkel failed to form a government with the Green Party and the Liberals at the beginning of the year.
Okay, so how did the German and broader European markets react to the election results?
Well, amidst all the political uncertainty, the German equity market have been fairly stable, and the DAX even reached its highest level earlier this year in January. Though when we actually look at the period since the election last autumn, the DAX has fallen by 2.3%. But again, this is in line with what we see at the Stoxx Europe 600, which was also down. Since the confirmation of the government last week, the DAX has been the best performing large index in Europe and was up 0.7%. So after the outcome of the recent election in Italy a couple of weeks ago, investors view this coalition in the largest economy in the Eurozone as a positive news for the European Union, as it clearly brings stability to the region.
So I guess I just have one more question for you. Have you seen any impact on Nasdaq's clients in the region?
Well, looking at the key movements across the Nasdaq German client base over the past 6 months, we saw particularly US investors dominating the buying activity, making up, in fact, 44% of all acquisitions. This was led by value firms like Dodge & Cox and Capital Bird investors. In terms of domestic ownership, the largest German buyers were Deutsche Asset Management and Union Investment. And on the selling side, we can see German firms like Allianz Global Investors and Metzler Asset Management divesting. So overall, investors are happy to see a stable and strong Germany and observe how upcoming reforms of the European Union will impact the recent Euroscepticism across the region.
Okay, thank you for that information, Alex. We really appreciate it. So everyone, joining me today was Alex Wendt, Senior Analyst with Nasdaq Advisory Services in our London office. Thank you again. Glad to have you. And also, tune in next week on Tuesday for our next segment of Advisory Live. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Bye, Lori.
Take care.